The FBI wants Teresa's help?
It's vital if we're to complete our investigation of Mr. Crane's empire in time to avert the catastrophe we've discovered he's been planning for some time now.
Wait, now when you say catastrophe, what are you talking about? A bomb or economic collapse, environmental destruction? What?
Sorry, I can't be more specific. Suffice it to say that thousands of people will be affected if this plan isn't fully uncovered and stopped.
My grandfather can't hurt anyone. He's in a coma.
The catastrophe could be activated by others or by a machine. We're not sure at this point, but it's urgent we find out.
Which is why you need access to Crane Industries.
Yes, sir. And since Alistair left his wife Teresa in charge, I need to get her permission to expand our investigation. Where can I find Mrs. Crane to get it?
Chances are Teresa's working late in the library.
Now, I'll go tell Teresa you want to see her, but don't assume that she'll welcome the FBI into Crane Industries with open arms. She may hate Alistair, but she loves the power running Crane gives her.
Make sure I understand you, Agent Morrison. You're asking me, as Mrs. Alistair Crane, to help the FBI expand its investigation of my husband's empire because you allege that he's plotting a catastrophe that could potentially hurt thousands of people?
That's right, ma'am.
And you want my full cooperation, even though you won't tell me what this is about.
Sorry, Mrs. Crane, I'm not at liberty to discuss these details with anyone.
It's that serious.
You have no idea.
You're slandering my grandfather when he's comatose and can't defend himself.
As I told Miss Crane, your husband's condition gives us a chance to speed up our investigation and hopefully avert a disaster.
So what exactly do you need me to do?
Give the Bureau access to everything at Crane Industries. We'll need personal records, computers, employees, Mr. Crane's personal information, everything.
Teresa's late brother, Detective Luis Lopez Fitzgerald, had all of Alistair's files in his possession a while back, but had to give them back to save his mother's life. Teresa, I say you finish what Luis started. Go for it.
And at what cost to the company, though?
Could mean the end of Crane Industries.
But my grandfather has spent his whole life transforming Crane Industries from a regional business to a worldwide conglomerate.
Miss Crane, your grandfather's conglomerate is the epicenter of a catastrophe in the making. Don't you want to see it stopped?
Of course. Yes, I just have a hard time seeing my grandfather for the monster he seems to be.
Look, I know the risk to your husband's empire is enormous. But if Alistair weren't incapacitated, we'd have no hope of gaining access to Crane Industries. And your husband would probably succeed in what he's planning to do. But since he's in a coma, I think there might be a chance we can avert this disaster. Will you help me, Mrs. Crane?
What would Ethan tell me to do? Absolutely. Do whatever you have to do to get to the bottom of what's going on. If there's a catastrophe waiting to be unleashed, we've got to stop it before it begins. The FBI can bring down the Crane Empire for all I care. Do whatever you have to do to stop the catastrophe that Alistair was planning from happening.
Teresa, you can't let them destroy everything that my grandfather built.
Why not, Fancy? Countless people built lives for themselves that Alistair destroyed, ours included. It is my duty to end his reign of terror, just like Luis tried to before Alistair had him killed. And who cares if the Crane Empire comes crumbling down along the way? We will rebuild it the right way, so that the fear and disgust that the Crane name invokes now is replaced with honor and respect. Now the new empire will be a force for good instead of evil. I mean it. You drag everything out into the open. You do whatever you have to do to avoid catastrophe. All I ask is that you have Chief Bennett assist you in your investigation.
Teresa, I don't think the feds need my help.
But I do, Sam. On New Year's Eve, Alistair admitted that he was behind the deaths of 2 of my brothers. And if he does ever come out of that coma, I want you to have proof of his involvement So he rots in prison for the rest of his wretched life.
Mrs. Crane, you do understand that once you give the FBI permission to expand our investigation, you cannot withdraw support no matter what we start to find.
I understand completely. I want to finish what my late brother Louis started. I want all of Alistair's secrets exposed and his dirty dealings revealed. The people and the countries that have been underneath Alistair's thumb deserve to be free.
So I have your permission to dig for dirt wherever I see fit?
Not only do you have my permission, Sam, you have my blessing. So I assume that the FBI doesn't plan to raid the Crane complex and start tearing things apart.
This is still a covert operation.
So, Sam, do you think that it would help the FBI to have a Crane employee assist them in their search? Someone trustworthy? Without an agenda? Someone who knows the company and how it works?
That's a great idea.
Yeah, I agree, Mrs. Crane. But does such a person exist?
Absolutely. I know the perfect person to ask.
Knowing the FBI is after my grandfather gives me knots in my stomach. I'm gonna go upstairs, take a shower, get in bed, and hide under the covers.
Look, I know you're upset, but
Just leave it at that, please.
Okay. I'll come join you.
I was counting on it.
Son, I need a quick word before you go.
Okay. I'll be up in a second.
Now that I'm chief of police again, I won't just be investigating Alistair.
Oh?
I'll have to investigate the attack on Maya and the car that crashed into the diner where you and Fancy just happened to be sitting.
Well, Maya and I...
Son, I know you know more than you've been willing to admit so far. In fact, you've all but said you're in big trouble.
Look, I can handle it.
No, you cannot handle it. Now, you need to tell me what's going on before I officially find out. Or I may not be able to help you or Fancy.